Hey family. So I had received today a very interesting channel message, and it's something that I have to deliver right away. Today's date of this video is Saturday, September 16th, 9:16. Happy birthday to anybody. And on this day, Saturday, 9:16, 4 weeks from today, 4 Saturdays from today, it'll be October 14th, 10:14. When I looked at the clock this morning, I saw 10:14. Something significant about that number. Now, 10:14 has been following me since I was a teenager, since I was about 12 years old. That number has been following me. Before I was even awakened to spirituality, before I even knew about angel numbers, before I had went through my awakening, that number has been following me, and I've seen it on the clock. I would always see it at night. I can remember vividly seeing that number almost every single night, 10:14, and I wondered why every time I look at the clock I kept seeing that same time. And so like my angels and my guides, they have been connecting with me ever since I was a child, before I was even awakened. Like, they've always been there. But when I saw this on the clock today, I was receiving a download, and something significant is going to happen and occur on 10/14, October 14th, which is 4 Saturdays from today of this video. And what I'm getting is a couple of different meanings for this. The first one I will say is that there's going to be some type of, okay, before I get into that, let me just say what the date is, what this is about, excuse me. That 10:14 is going to be a tower moment that's going to happen that day. And for those of you that know tarot, this is the tower card is the card that I got to describe that day. For those of you that don't read tarot was just a way for our guides, for spirit universe, to communicate with us through a very creative way. And what the tower card means, there's nothing demonic about tarot, okay? And what the tower card means is it's a bad thing and a good thing. It's a good thing that comes after a bad thing, where a miracle will occur after a disaster or destruction or some type of crumbling. And it's like a windfall that happens after a catastrophe. And when the tower moment comes, the tower moment is divine intervention. It's divine intervention because there needs to be some type of change. And when humans are not willing to change, and they're not taking heed to what God is telling them, they're not listening, God has to intervene. 333 on my clock. And what I heard when I really felt into the energy, I was feeling a lot of anxiety. I was feeling that people were, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. But I also was hearing screams. I was hearing screams. And it's as if something catastrophic will happen on that day. Possibly, potentially, a natural disaster. And I was hearing it in my left ear. This is my left ear, my left. And I was hearing the screams in my left ear. And as God was instructing me, we are also a compass. So whenever ear you hear it from, or wherever you feel it from, is the compass of where you can navigate, of where it's going to be in the world. So my left ear is west. I live in the United States, and I live in the Midwest, which is pretty much central of America. But the west coast of me is out there by like California, Nevada, Washington. And When I heard this, when I was asking God for clarity of the state, I was thinking California. And I heard sirens blaring just as I was thinking California. And sirens is 911, is Archangel Michael, which is God's right hand man, which is confirmation. And what I heard God say was, tell my people, do not be afraid. Tell my people, I have to shake things up to wake people up. I have to shake things up to wake people up. California, if you know about California, there are certain parts of California where it's a very dark, demonic influence area. It's not all of California, because there are some parts that are good, because California is a very, very large state. But there are some parts of California that is heavily under demonic influence. And some type of natural disaster is going to occur to shake up that area, to wake up the people that are there, to know that they need to turn back to the Lord, and that they need to stop all of the low vibrational activities that they're doing there. And also, I want to also come heed a warning that if any person had planned a trip to go out to California around October 14th, I highly, highly, highly advise you to please postpone your trip to a month later or further. Because whatever is going to occur, it's going to take them a couple of weeks to clear things up. So mid-October is when this will occur. And the remainder of October is pretty much the cleanup. And there's a possibility that planes probably will not fly back and forth in that area. And you don't want to get out there and get stuck out there. So if you are planning a trip out there, I highly advise you to please postpone your trip. Not telling you to cancel, not trying to hinder anyone's fun or vacation, but I highly advise you to postpone your trip, to not go that weekend, and especially not go that day. Protect yourself. Also, if you live in California, if you live anywhere near there, around 10:14, it would be wise to evacuate, to leave that area, to leave that city. LA, leave that city, to not be around. If you live, even if you are near LA, evacuate. The other meaning that I have behind this is that there's a collective where something significant will happen in your life, in your personal life, on that day, 10/14, October 14th. Something significant will happen in your life that day that's going to, it's going to shake you up, but it's also going to wake you up. And what will happen is God will reveal to you some wisdom that was not present before, that was not available to you before, but God's going to deliver some wisdom to you. You're going to receive some more clarity. You're going to have more of an elevated consciousness, because something is going to happen where it's going to awaken you more, where your vibration will raise, your consciousness will rise higher, because you have a higher understanding of what's really going on in your life. And God has to orchestrate this through a tower moment. This is nothing that you need to be afraid of, because you are safe, you are protected, you are guided, and angels are surrounding you all the time. But please heed the warning.